As with other H5P activity types, we'll begin the content bank by clicking the Add menu, then selecting Course Presentation. I'm going to enter full screen mode while we edit. Each course presentation begins with a single blank slide. On this slide, you can add common media elements, for example, text, links to external resources, images, commonly used shapes, or videos. If you have several slides, you can also add a go-to link that will jump ahead in the slide deck. Adding an element is as simple as clicking on the icon and filling out a form. Elements you add to a slide can be resized, moved, or removed as needed. And if you're feeling a sense of deja vu, it's because this pop-over editing menu is the same one that you saw when adding elements in a drag and drop activity. You can manage your slides using the icons beneath the slide deck. Here you'll find icons to add a new slide, duplicate the existing slide, change the slide background, move your slide left or right, or delete that slide. The option to change the slide background can change your background to a single color or an image that you upload. This course presentation slide was created by uploading an image as the background. If you choose to change your slide's background, you can do it at the template level, which applies it to every slide you create or have created, or just for this slide. It's also worth noting that after you create your course presentation, you can also create a copy of it. You can then edit that copy to quickly create a new presentation. Let's talk about graded interactive elements that I can add into course presentation. There are actually quite a few, and they'll be listed with the icons across the top here. However, there are even more if you click this vertical ellipsis menu. You're welcome to experiment with these as you like, but it's worth noting that you already know how to create several of these if you followed along with the content in week 1 of this course. For example, you'll find activity types like drag the words, drag and drop, true false, and multiple choice. Adding one of these question types is as simple as clicking on the icon, then filling out the form like you have when you've created these questions in other parts of the content bank. For example, the interface for creating a multiple choice question on its own is the exact same interface you would use to create a multiple choice question in a course presentation activity. But let's say I already have a multiple choice question I've created in my content bank and I'd like to use this again. This next part is a little bit easier if you open 2 different tabs or 2 different windows in your browser. In one tab, I opened up the editing interface for a multiple choice question I've already created. In the other tab, I have my course presentation. In the tab for my multiple choice question, I'm going to click the copy icon in the top right corner of the page. I'm then going to come back to my course presentation. This next part is extremely important because you want to make sure you click in the right spot. If you're not using the full screen editing mode, you'll see a paste and replace button at the top of the screen. Do not click this button. If you click paste and replace right now, this will change your course presentation into that multiple choice question, which I'm guessing is not what you wanted to do. Instead, to paste that multiple choice question into your presentation, click the paste icon above the course presentation slide. This pastes the other H5P activity into your course presentation, where it can then be resized and rearranged. And the most important tip that I could give you with course presentation that will save you mountains of frustration is to never ever use the back button while you're creating your course presentation. Let's say you wanted to add a question to this presentation, but you select the wrong one. If you click back, you're taken back to the content bank. This means that any changes you've made since you began editing that presentation are lost. Instead, if you've accidentally added a piece of content you don't want, click the delete button instead. It'll prompt you to ask if you're sure you want to delete this element. Click OK to return to your slide deck. As a final tip, you cannot preview your course presentation while you're editing it. Instead, you'll need to scroll to the bottom of the page and click the Save button, then preview your presentation from this screen. If you'd like to make additional changes, click the Edit button to open the editing interface again. No software, service, or tool comes without its own quirks. and course presentation is no exception. However, it's a relatively simple tool. It's a simple way to present new content to students and prompt them to answer questions along the way to confirm that they actually understand the content. The slide deck can be provided as a grade in the course, and the summary screen at the end provides a transparent disclosure to the students about what their grade is and why. Though it's an advanced activity type in H5P, we believe it's strongly worth a look.